Okay, so now that we learned how to roll on the ground, let's take a look at what rolling on a ladder would look like. Of course, ladder safety is very important, so I'm going to set this up and make sure it's a proper ladder placement. It's a bit stiff, but that's okay. All right, rest it gently there. Now, another key thing to point out is I'm going to make sure that I never have a ladder resting on a drop sheet. So the safe placement here would be at about this angle, but I'm going to move my drop sheet because canvas creates a slippery material, and we don't want any ladders slipping out off that drop sheet. Very dangerous. Plastic wrap as well. So let's move it off the drop sheet here. Okay, good. Make sure I have my 4 points of contact. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I do my ladder check, 4-to-1 ratio. Quick check step, everything seems secure, so I'll be good to climb. Okay, now of course I have my drop sheet rested down here, and we've covered these gardens with plastic wrap as to not damage them. You don't want to cover gardens with drop sheets as it will kill the plants, but we want to cover gardens and things like that with plastic to ensure that we're not getting paint chips and debris falling on them when we're pressure washing, or paint and drips all over them when we're doing our paint coat application. So to use the roller on the ladder, I'm going to use my trusty 6-foot, 12-foot extension pole here. I need a refill with paint here. And I'm going to use again the 20 mil pile that we learned about before. Okay, so pour some paint in the tray. Good. Okay. And what's this angle going to be? Okay. Like that. Okay, and pretty simply, extend it and climb up on the ladder and do some rolling from here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is dip it in here. Good. Roll off my edges. And now, pretty much the same as rolling on the ground. You just have to add, I'm actually going to shorten my pole for better leverage once I'm up here and just extend it to dip into my tray. There we go, that's better. And I'm using a 3rd point of contact with my knee here to stay into the ladder. That way I have my 2 feet and my 3rd knee here as a point of contact, allowing myself to remain stable on the ladder as I do the rolling work. So now I got to get more paint, extend my pole, beautiful. Dip it in my tray. Again, most of this rolling work that I'm going to do from the ground I can with an extension pole, but this is definitely the fastest way to do it if you don't have, or once you get to an area that you can't reach with the extension pole. Roll up my pole. Good. Back roll over. You can see most of the areas have already been spot primed here, or everything pretty much has, so that's good. Okay, great. Now, how do I get that top part? Well, pretty much the same thing. You can also buy different pieces that attach your tray to the ladder. I've never been too much of a fan of them. I sort of like this technique in painting as much from the ground as possible. And then we have a drip, so it's good that we had it covered in plastic wrap. Okay, good. This porous stucco is very, very porous and hasn't been painted in many years. It's also tougher to apply the right amount of pressure when painting at these different angles, so I'm going to try to cover a bit less of the surface area. Okay, good. And I'm gonna have to move my ladder to go any further over than that to avoid too much leaning. Back roll it. And we'll just keep going. Okay, that's a good demonstration. Okay, great. Now take my ladder down and we'll get to move on to mini rolling.